Good afternoon. I'm also very excited to be here in Zagreb. I come from a small island in Greece, and I work there in the university. We call it the University of the Aegean, so the Aegean Sea, full of refugees at this point, I'm afraid. But okay, we manage. So I will talk to you about a concept which is related to smart cities, and we call it the smart med concept. Actually, it's about the islands. It's about smart islands. First, I don't know the guy in the morning who said smart cities is quite boring. So I agree. If you just stick to the digital technologies, it can be quite boring. My definition always includes these new processes. You know, it's a combination of four things, I think. First is digital cities, then it's digital technologies, then it's something new in the process. You have to have an innovation in the process somehow, or a new model, how to work. Sometimes you don't need new technology, you just need a new model. Sometimes you need both of them. Then is to do it in an economical way. And finally, which is my point here in this session, is about citizen and industry involvement. So let me tell you a little bit of this island idea. So islands are like small countries if they are at the level or above the level of 20, 30,000 inhabitants. Okay, smaller are just small islands. But if you reach the level of 10, 15, 20,000 and then grow bigger, you must have everything in a village. So this gives you first the opportunity to do quite difficult tasks that are not so easy to do in a city context, because sometimes city does not mean anything. You need the whole territory to do something. So in the islands, in Samos, for example, Samos is at the level of 30,000 people, very close to Turkey, as you can see in the map on the top. Okay, it's a place you want to be, and I want to be there all the time, if possible. But there are some specific conditions in the islands. Okay, first, of course, is all about green and blue, blue and green. They are all very touristic, or most of them. You know, I counted today, there are over 100 inhabited islands in the Mediterranean only. Europe must have something like 200 inhabited islands, maybe more. Greece accounts for, I don't know, in this list maybe we have 50, but in real we have more than 100 inhabited islands. Wolfram Alpha doesn't know the answer to this question. How many inhabited islands in Europe? And there's no definitive list in Wikipedia either. So, you know, the priorities we have are similar to cities. It's just that some of them are much more highlighted than others. When we say tourism in Samos or in Mykonos, we're talking about 92% of the overall GDP. So some islands are all about tourism, some others not. You have also very nice islands in Croatia as well. So in one slide, the idea here is the following: entrepreneurship instead of procurement. Meaning, I've always been in the private sector for 10 years of my life. I really enjoyed that in the ICT industry. But you know, with these municipalities, we have an issue here. They are eager sometimes to acquire big infrastructures or build big infrastructures or buy big things and then do things or think they will do things. Usually, you know, it goes like, I found the money, the financing, I buy something, I'm very happy, and then it all goes down to not being utilized. Underutilization is maybe the biggest problem in many of at least the Greek medium-level cities. I would say more than Greek. I've seen many examples like that in the south at least. Italy, Spain, Portugal, and more. So the idea here is not to procure, is to make. Now, make how? We cannot make HPC, high-performance computing, so easy in Samos yet. But the idea is we have 4 phases. We say first we analyze. I quote again this ISO 37120 that Blas also said before. This is a nice set of indicators. Okay, some of them are very difficult to really measure. Talks about how many young girls are going to school. We don't know. What is the percentage of them going to school? But it's a good start. It's a good set of indicators, maybe with some inclusion of more. So first we have a system to measure, which is important. Then we go and we do the usual scoping of things. We say, let's see here, what do we need for the next 5 to 10 years? What kind of involvement, what kind of new solutions, transportation. We manage a map that would be also another nice presentation at the level of 100 different interventions. And I know it's not all inclusive. I added today the Amsterdam smart metering device for citizens. It can be maybe 200 interventions. And we go with a mayor, with the staff, we go slowly and we say, let's plan some things. And after we plan, usually we should look for money and procure. No, we say we're going to make an international competition for new enterprises like startups to come and somehow build a part, the whole, make a service out of it, assist in a way. Because you see, if you make something valuable, you can generate some revenue, either from the municipality as a governmental owner, because you will do something for him, or for the citizens themselves, or for the tourists. Imagine, Samos is 30,000 people. Rhodes, it's like 100,000 people inhabitants. But Rhodes has 3 million tourists that stay for 10 days average every year. So there are incentives for the companies. And then we work with them, with the companies, with the startups. This is the main idea here. This is my presentation. Now, the rest is about filling in the gaps. Okay, this I will not. This is about now the project. A nice thing that we did is that we had this idea for quite some years now, but we managed some weeks ago to develop it for an Interreg Med proposal. So this is part of the proposal. It has to look elaborate and, many deliverables. Okay, we will do a lot of things. Surprisingly, we have also, maybe not surprisingly, that's why I'm here, we have also partners from Slovenia and the island of Brač also. The airport manager, I quoted you. Where is the, he said something very nice, I liked. He said, with 2 kilometers of road, you cannot go very far. But with 2 kilometers of runway, you can go wherever you want. And I get another quote from the Twitter saying, but the other guy should have another 2 kilometers to land. But that's obvious. So this idea can also be reapplied. This is a nice thing also, because basically it's a framework. I didn't say we will do smart transport. I didn't say we will do smart tourism. I said we will do whatever it takes, but we have a concept which is different. The money are not going to big companies, are going as prizes, or some of the money, are going as prizes to the first startups. And this is very important here. We are now 100 people here. If we were 100 million people, and we had a way to manage our idea making together, then we had a lot of good ideas. Screening is the point here. And we're also applying for the Horizon. Anybody who is interested here for the next Smart Cities call, it's a very competitive call, but that's why we're here. We're also very competitive ourselves. Let's do something from the region, from this strange Southeast Mediterranean, ex-Balkans region. I have 2 minutes, 1 minute, no minute, no minute at all. Okay, so then you won't see about Samos and the crazy examples we do. Okay, not a problem. The next opportunity to visit Samos, this is my last slide. We have an event in the beginning of July every year. Now it's the 6th year or 7th year. And this year we have a topic exactly on that, smart cities and youth, or we're all young, so we take out youth, and entrepreneurship. Thank you very much.